And spent the afternoon with George P. Bush, talking about oil and gas workers, also his political future. Take a look. When President Joe Biden, hours into taking office, signed an executive order killing the XL pipeline here in Texas, they knew they were going to be in trouble. But this is Texas, and Texas fights back. And that's exactly what they did with the Texas Defense Task Force, led by Land Commissioner George P. Bush.
We're already in the courthouse in different parts of the country fighting some of the reckless policies that we've seen from the left. So we're excited to bring the fight back.
But he comes out and says, goodbye XL pipeline. And he says, oh yeah, when it comes to drilling on federal land, we're going to pause that. How does that resonate in Texas?
Well, it sends a very dangerous message to our state. The industry directly employs 400,000 Texans and indirectly employs over 1 million. We will lose 120,000 jobs if the federal lease policy stays in place for the rest of this year alone.
What about next year? What about the year after? Are the jobs going to multiply exponentially, that are just going to disappear?
They will unless we do something about it, and that's what we're doing in Texas. We're going to visit with small business owners that have felt the personal pain of what it means to let go of workers.
We've lost 40 to 50,000 jobs here locally in Midland, Odessa.
What were you thinking when you saw President Biden open up those books and sign those executive orders?
What hit me significantly was the fact of thinking about all of the assets that I had operating in New Mexico and having the conversation of, you guys are going to have to move to West Texas, or you're going to have to go find something else to do.
So immediately that book opens, he signs his signature, and they are out of a job.
Oh, it's significant like that.
Do you think that they understand these are people with jobs?
They don't.
I got laid off the 1st of August, was without work for 4.5 months. I was slated to go up to the Keystone.
It was set to go to the XL pipeline?
Yes, sir. We was really hoping everything was going to pick up as COVID eased off. And then we just kind of got slammed in the gut again.
How?
When Mr. Biden come in and knocked out 11,000 jobs the first day he's in office. I mean, the ramifications for that are still being felt in the industry. It's easy to say just go find another job, but when you're the head of a household and that other job you're going to do is going to pay you half as much as what you're used to, that's not quite as easy as it sounds.
Your message is just let me work.
Yeah, just let us do our job.
So George, now I'm going to get a chance to see what it's like working on a rig.
Absolutely. This is going to be the best training facility you will find.
Should we go in?
Let's do it. Safety first.
Come on,
Okay.
What is this?
This is a pumping unit.
What are we looking for? Oil, gas?
Yeah, oh yeah. You'll be having oil and gas mixed together coming out of this segment. Natural gas coming out of this one. They commingle into a flow line and go to production facilities.
Wow.
This is just a tiny fraction of what all goes into your typical oil field.
Right, and I was staggered to find out you need workers.
Absolutely, we need work.
What happened?
When it slows down and people get frustrated and leave the industry, they say they're never coming back, and they don't.
But you say these are great paying jobs, George, right?
Absolutely. Pays over $125,000 per year.
And you do make money.
Oh, yes, yes.
Absolutely. George, you've had this job for a while. When you got hit with that freeze, did you sense that there was some people on the left who were almost happy about it?
Absolutely. They laughed at the misfortune of a red state. But the reality is that what it messaged to people in our state is that we need to produce more energy.
You also have a border issue on top of that.
Communities on our border that are dealing with this incredible influx of not only unaccompanied children, but illegal immigrants that are coming across. We're tired of the federal government not stepping up to the plate and accepting their responsibility in this effort.
Matthew McConaughey, he wants to run for governor. He's thinking about it, getting into politics. What advice would you give him?
Well, maybe he needs to continue to think about it.
What do you say about you people who say your party's fractured?
I think there's nothing more unifying in Republican Party politics than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. After a few years of left-wing progressive ideas, everyday Americans are going to say this is enough.
Does that make you want to seek another position?
I've been privileged to serve as land commissioner for the last 6 years, but we need new leadership in this high statewide executive role.
And you're hoping to run for?
I'm taking a very serious look at Attorney General.
And when would you make that decision?
Well, right now, as I mentioned, we're so focused on fixing the winter grid, pushing back the overreach, working on during this legislative session, but expect an announcement fairly soon.
And as I mentioned before, he's not afraid of green energy. Texas has huge wind farms. 20% of their energy comes from from wind. They are second in the country with solar. So they understand the balance. They're all for the environmental thing. Here's the other thing they do. You ever hear about, well, there's an environmental impact. What's the environmental impact here? It turns out their enemies, the green movement, will find some type of grass or insect or horny toad to decide they have to be preserved, so therefore you can't drill here. And what happens is they go to court, and it delay. People lose more and more money while pressuring the banks not to lend and not to invest. They're trying to slowly crush the fossil fuel industry. You know what happens? It all goes to, we just end up getting oil and gas from another country or from OPEC or from Russia.
Did that man end up getting a job? He was out of work?
Yeah, does not have a job. I mean, as of Friday, he didn't have a job, but he's trying to jump on board.
And as for George P. Bush, he might have another job. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Good interview, Brian.
Yeah, thanks.